reminding me. Yes, welcome everyone to Toastmasters Cluj on our English meeting, the last Tuesday of the month, where we gather here to practice not only public speaking and leadership, but also the English language every once in a while. So here we are in a reasonably large number of people gathered to support all the participants, all of the speakers of the day. And to do this, I remind everyone that we're here, we're recording the meeting, and we're using the recordings to self-evaluate our meetings later on. Each meeting has its own separate theme, has its own guest to guide us through the event and guide us through the night, guide us through prepared speeches, through improvised table topic sessions, as well as through evaluations. And as it happens, tonight, the host is myself. I am here to tell you a little bit of a story about tea. Because, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but there's a subtle charm in the taste of tea, which makes it irresistible and capable of idealization. It has not the arrogance of the arrogance of wine, the self-consciousness of coffee, or the simpering innocence of cocoa. Okakura Kakuzo, 1906. Tea is a really weird place, and it's one that's close to my heart, as I love it, and I spend an inordinate amount of time drinking tea. But I'd rather skip most of the history of the beverage itself. I mean, we can look at how it happened and how it came to be. We could go through the periods in its lifetime. It was first made in a really primitive, weird cake-like boiled cake that you would put in tea and you would drink it. Then it became powder, like the Japanese matcha is kind of powder that you would drink today. And now most of what we know is the leaf seed tea that we get to play with and we get to enjoy in our life. But this history is, although interesting, is only part of the story. What I really want to talk about today is the art. And as it happens, it is what we would call the art of appreciation or the art of teaism, right? It is the art of simplifying life and enjoying the simple things there. If there's a place where you would want to look, right? If there's something that, some culture that has tea built in there as a platform, what would you say that culture is? Who would you look for to learn more about tea? Anyone? Any guesses?
China, Japan, India.
Japan, India.
China, India, and UK.
All right. None of those, neither China, India, or UK actually venerate or use tea as an art. It is Japan, as we've heard before. It did start in India, right? The traditions of tea started in India. However, ever since the Mongols came over in the 15th, 16th century, most of the traditions have slowed down. The Japanese took them up, took both tea and its philosophy behind it, starting from the Taoists and the Zen, and took it and built something really special about it. If you think about Japan these days, you can't but avoid the tea rituals that they have. There is a weird tea ritual that we're going to talk a little bit about. But in order to become sort of a tea master, to try to learn those rituals and to learn what happens there, you have to, one of the first requirements is to know how to sweep, clean, and wash. It's weird. It has nothing to do with preparing tea, knowing what leaves are or how the water goes. It's about cleaning. Because there is an art in cleaning and washing. For example, you wouldn't go to an antique metal vase and attack it with a vacuum cleaner or a very, very rough and heavy brush. You would pay attention. That's only part of the story. The idea of paying attention goes even further. For example, when cleaning, you needn't wash a drop of water because that would remind you of the morning dew, not of something that's particularly dirty. It is all about paying attention. And quotes like these come up a lot through the idea and through theism and through the history. And we're going to get through a few more and over the night. But what's important to understand is the idea of finding simplicity in life, of understanding and accepting the things that normally happen, as simple as they can be. With that in mind, I decided to ask everyone today to think about what they would like to simplify in their life to come closer to this tradition. That is the question of the evening. And as I invite and show you how we will handle our meeting today, I've asked everyone to answer this question, and I will tell you their answers. We will, of course, have prepared speeches first, and then we'll have a section of improvised table topic where everyone can participate, as well as an evaluation section later on. But to understand our objectives and how we practice during our sessions, I would first like to invite some of the evaluators first, so that they can tell us what their job is and what they're paying attention to, what they're practicing today when looking at simple things that we do while speaking. To that extent, I would first like to invite our general evaluator to the stage, Adelina Platon, after telling you that she would like to simplify her work. Adelina, what are you going to do today?
Thank you, Catalin. Good evening, everyone. Before I share with you my role tonight, I would like to give you Catalin's answer to his question, or to tonight's question. He would like to simplify his belongings and just have much fewer of those. Thank you, Catalin. So my role here tonight as a general evaluator is to pay attention to everything that happens in this meeting. And at the end of this meeting, not this evening, I will give you a feedback and help with the meaning, with the intention also, to help you improve your performance on the stage. I'm not alone in this process. I have a team. I have the technical evaluators team, which is made from grammarian, timer, and a counter. I have the speech evaluator team, and also you, the public, who is also encouraged to give feedback. I will come back to at the end of this meeting with my report, and I will give you as many ideas to improve. Catalin?
Thank you very, very much, Adele. Next up, as we go ahead with our technical, evaluating the technical aspects of the meeting, first, I'd like to bring in our grammarian. His name is Razvan Farkas, and he told me he would like to simplify man's search for meaning. Please welcome Razvan Farkas.
Yay! Woo! Thank you very much, Catalin. My mission in the role of grammarian today is to support the development of the vocabulary and the correct phrasing. How am I doing this? Well, I present a new word to the members. I will send that in chat right now. The word, which I hope is new for you guys, is adorn. Adorn means to make something more beautiful and attractive, to decorate. And you can see we have a few examples there at the end of my message. She likes to adorn herself with jewels. So she likes to get fancy, as some would say. And I will share useful comments related to the use of the English language during this meeting. Now, this is one of the meanest roles, so don't take it personally. I hope you will take it grammarly. Have a nice evening, guys. Catalin?
Thank you very much, Razvan. Grammarly it will be. Next up, we have our timer, helping us to keep track on time and to realize how well we're doing during our speeches. His name is Sergiu Cristea, and he would like to simplify making money.
My name is Sergiu Cristea. Today, I will be your time. The evening rules are really easy. for prepared speeches, grammarian, and general evaluator, I will show the green card when there are 2 minutes left. And we'll show the yellow card and 1 minute left, and show the red card when time is over. And for everyone else, I will show the green card when you have the 1 minute left. The yellow card, I will show the yellow card when you have 30 seconds left from your time, and the red card when your time is over, when your time is up. Thank you for your time, and see you in the evaluation section.
All right, thank you very much, Sergio. Now, unfortunately, your video disconnected during that little introduction. Can you verify that you can see us and that we can see you?
Sorry.
Can you quickly go over? Let's see if the cards work. Just for a quick second.
Yes.
Can you go over them?
Sorry. Yes. Second.
I know that our general evaluators help us. There we go. So things are working. Thank you very much for.
Sorry.
Thank you very much for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
We cannot hear you.
Thank you very much. Now, as it happens, next up we have our account. And as it happens, he's Marian Punzariu. He would like to simplify, he would like to be as direct as possible in conversations. And that is his goal for simplification. Please welcome our accounter to the stage.
Thank you, Katalin, for a wonderful presentation of my answer. And I like to adore this type of role because he gives me the pleasure to pay attention on a special type of speech, especially for long prolongation of words like and, so, inappropriate word, a repeated word like so on and so on, and also different type of poses. If you have inappropriate during your speech, is not good for you. So my mission is to observe this type of mistakes and to report on the final section to be more conscious of your mistakes. So good luck, and I will come back after improv section.
Thank you very much, and I wish you, as well as the entire technical and the entire evaluation team, good luck during the following hour as you practice your attention and your ability to give feedback. But in order to look at simplicity and how the philosophy of tea manifests itself in these cultures or in these places, I would like to focus on one place in Japan, one weird thing that you may or may not know that it exists. Did you know that there is such a thing called a tea room that they built? Houses in Japan are really weird and interesting. They're usually made out of bamboo or very, very cheap wood because they move a lot from their culture. Their families like to move, and therefore their houses are ephemeral, and they're easy to dismantle and to replace somewhere else. Now, this is specifically true for the tea room, which is a unique place next to a Japanese house, which is built unlike anything that you've seen around in Europe or even in that place, even around that culture. It is usually a pentagonal room with one wall colored differently. Maybe there's a statue somewhere in the room mimicking an old Zen monastery, but otherwise it is lacking any sort of adornments or decorations, and it is there, and it feels out of place. If you go inside one of these rooms, and if you have OCD, you will feel that everything is incorrect and everything is wrong and asymmetrical. Because as a place, it is designed for the worship of the imperfect. The tea ritual is usually improvised, and so a place like this purposefully leaves it unfinished for the play of imagination to complete it while enjoying and while relaxing in a small little ritual afterwards. Now, all of our performances here may be incomplete at times. We would improvise, we will prepare them, and we will try to give them our best. But sometimes just keeping them simple and focusing on what the core that we built around is the best way to go. That being said, I'm sure that the speakers for tonight have prepared their speeches and have guarded their projects with the utmost care, not knowing that I would tell them for them to be really, really simple and improvised. So to talk about our prepared speeches, I would first like to invite our first stage. His evaluator happens to be Julia Moldovan. Julia, can you tell us a little bit about what Vlad's objectives are for today for this speech?
Of course, Cătălin. Vlad follows the path, presentation mastery. He is at level 1, and today's project is about researching and presenting. As the name of the project says, the purpose for Vlad tonight is to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech of any topic. The name of the speech is Total Recall, and it lasts for 7 minutes. So good luck, Vlad. The stage is yours. Vlad Proneanu, Total Recall.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for your introduction, Julia. Today, when I was asked what is the name of my title, and I said Total Recall, the reaction was something like this. Huh? Total Recall? Like the movie? And I said, no, it's not about the movie, but maybe I'll even mention the movie at some point in my speech. It's even better in my point of view, because it's about an Austrian village boy who moved to the US, turned bodybuilder, turned Hollywood movie star, and guess what? Governor. If you haven't guessed by now who I'm talking about, I'm sure everyone has heard about him. I'm talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, I will get you on a journey from bodybuilding to governorship. In his late 20s, let's think that Arnold was already crowned with several titles as Mr. Universe and Mr. Olympia. He was the undisputed champion of his time. But this is not the biggest achievement in bodybuilding, in my opinion. The biggest achievement for him in bodybuilding was the way he marketed it, the way he tried to sell bodybuilding to the rest of us, to common people. How he did it? Well, he gave interviews in different sports magazines and different magazines of the time, like LA Times and the Joe Wilder's sports magazine, which was very popular in the 70s and 80s. He started to invite movie stars into the gyms and train with them. He started to make relations and connections with different celebrities from Hollywood. He started to walk in the street and talk with people, with common folks, and teach them about the ways of bodybuilding. Because in that time, in that period, the general misconception the common people had about bodybuilders were the fact that all they do was staying locked in the gyms, didn't think, didn't talk too much, and that was it. Well, he destroyed all these myths, and the apex of this marketing movement was a documentary he filmed. The documentary is called Pumping Iron, and it shows the training routines which led to his 6th victory of Mr. Olympia. Think about something. In 1975, the first prize for Mr. Olympia was $2,500. In 2020, the same very first place was worth $400,000, which this rise in the price is surely not due to inflation. And what does this have to do with Hollywood? Well, I've told you earlier that Arnold used to train and schmooze with different celebrities and movie stars. Well, the next big challenge for him would be to go on and take on Hollywood. Guess what? Guess what Hollywood said to him? Well, Hollywood said a big no. We don't want you here. You're too big, you're too muscular, your accent is too strong, you don't have any acting skills. And what did Arnold did? Well, he took acting lessons, he took English courses, and he got his first major breakthrough role in Conan the Barbarian. That role was a major hit. A major hit which led to other roles like The Terminator, Total Recall, and even comedies like The Twins. He got, in the late 80s and in 90s, to be one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. This guy, which at first got a big no, we don't want you here from Hollywood, got to be one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. He got where he wanted to be. This was his objectives. This was his objective. And by hard work, discipline, ambition, he got there. One of the key facts, one of the key things that he emphasized on during his years in the US was schmoozing with celebrities. Schmoozing means getting friendly with different types of people in different types of situations, everywhere and everywhere you can. Well, this kind of schmoozing got him into the Kennedy family. He got married with a member of the famous political Kennedy family, Maria Shriver. Well, guess what? In Arnie's mind, what would have been the next logical step for him to take from action hero movie to, well, in 2003, when California was in distress and the re-election call was held, Arnie stepped in and won the election as governor. A fun fact about this is that his nickname during his first term was the Governator. Well, it was a mix between governor and the Terminator because he was in constant clashes with the legislators. Well, of course, he was in constant clashes with legislators because he didn't have any experience about what politics meant. So, in 2006, he won the second term as a governor. He learned his lesson from the first term and actually started to advocate and work a lot with the legislators and passed on some bills. What, in my opinion, the most memorable act that he passed on was the Global Solutions Warming Act. He advocates strongly on taking actions on global warming in front of the US, in front of the United Nations. And in 2006, he passed the first act on taking actions for global warming in the US, which put a cap on greenhouse gas emissions in the state of California. What is the link between all these achievements? Well, the link is simple. It's discipline, it's ambition, and it's, how do I say, marketing. It's selling things to other people. Moreover, I was thinking about something, or in other words, Arnie was saying, has a saying. He always sought to strike at the very top, because the reason behind this is very simple. At the very top is a lot less competition. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Vlad, for presenting us the governor. And that being said, when in his place, Vlad wants to simplify his thinking, and for him to achieve his purpose, he would like some feedback. So please head over to slee.to and try to give him some feedback for his speech today. A link should show up in chat soon, hopefully. There we go. So please go there, let him a little bit of feedback within the next minute, and to quote a famous person, we'll be back. All right, and I think we've had enough time to type in and send our little answers to be able to move forward to our second speaker of the evening. His name is Cristian Sandru, and he will be evaluated by Ioana Neksha. Ioana told us that she would like to simplify scheduling her day to avoid overfilling it and to find the balance between too much and too little details in this aspect. So please welcome her Cristian's evaluator, telling us a little bit about what Cristian wants to achieve today.
Thank you, Kata. In life, as you know, sometimes you teach and then sometimes you learn. In his speech today, Cristi will take the latter role and he will share with us an experience of his when he was a protege, so a trainee, if you'd like. Cristi is following the visionary communication path, and his speech today is called Me and My Mentor and will take 7 minutes. He will share an experience from any moment in his life when he was a protege. Ladies and gentlemen, Cristi Sandru, Me and My Mentor.
How nice is it to have the opportunity to have such a great mentor as I have? And I'm using the present tense because I still have the same mentor that I did when I joined Toastmasters, and I'm very happy for that. Even though technically he is not part of the club, but he is part of my life. So that's what matters. Brief history of how I met my mentor. My mentor is Horatiu Stănculescu. No need to hide that. Everybody knows him. You can see him there in Zoom and probably also know him already in real life. I joined Toastmasters in 2018, and I've seen Horatiu doing a few speeches before then, and I really, really admired him. He was one of the people that I really, really liked out of all the other ones because of his personality and the way he was so genuine, and I really appreciated that about him. And he cared for what he was talking about. He always tried to deliver a message and help the audience with something, leave them with something of value. And when I had the chance to get a mentor, I was allocated one first. It wasn't Horatiu, and I asked if it can be Horatiu, and it could be, and that's how I got Horatiu. So I'm very happy that happened, and thank you, Horatiu, once again for accepting me. I'll probably use the word mentee if I'll use it throughout the discourse, because protege I'm not so used to it as I'm used to mentee. So I am his mentee, and I'll share you not one but 3 occasions when Horatiu's mentorship helped me a lot. So he's been with me for 3 years, more or less. In April, those would be 3 years basically. And in these 3 years, 3 big things happened in my Toastmasters life because of Horatiu. The first big one was when he offered me the chance to go and evaluate a speech at Office Depot, one of the other clubs in Cluj. And I was a bit reluctant because I haven't evaluated the discourse or a speech before then, but Horatiu gave me something very important. He gave me guidance and he gave me encouragement. He told me how it should happen. He told me what to keep in mind. He told me what to focus on. And he also told me that it will be fine. I will like it. And he is confident that I'll do a great job. Probably otherwise he wouldn't have asked me to do that, I assume. And I was very, very happy that he insisted, because I was a bit reluctant and I was almost about to say no. But I said yes. And I was very happy. It turned out better than I expected. And that led to me evaluating many more other speeches afterwards. Like not 10, but close to. From 0 to close to 10, big improvement. So I was very happy with that. Then another very big event that happened in my Toastmasters life, where Horatiu had a big impact on me, was in 2019, towards the end of the year, at the finals for the improv speeches in Romanian, in Bucharest, where I was participating as a contestant. And there was one thing that happened there that I was a bit I didn't expect to happen. And that was the rules of the contest changed. So instead of having the normal jury do their evaluation as they always do, it was changed to sort of a public vote, like the most popular guy wins. I was like, okay, And being also a contest where there were prepared speeches that were meant to be funny, I was sure that if I were to try to be funnier than I normally am, that would probably be a boon, because people are expecting others to be funny, so why not try to push on that? And I know that being funny is something that generally people appreciate about someone giving a speech. However, I was reluctant because I wasn't sure if I should push it that much or if I should just be natural. And I asked Horatiu, because I know that whenever I spoke with him, he was always sincere. He never tried to quote anything. He always gave me the answer as truthfully as possible. And he basically told me to just be myself, don't dwell on that, and just do what I would have done, regardless if I would have found out that the rules have changed or not. Because there's no point in trying to adapt to something that isn't necessarily under my control. So I did that. I took his advice in account, and I basically just rolled with it as I normally did. And because of that, or not, can't 100% say it, I got to win the contest. So I was very happy. And after that, I had about 2 hours feedback session with Horatiu on my way back to my hometown in the bus on the phone. Now I called him, and I think we had to close the conversation because my battery was draining. I think that was the reason why. So yes, that was also a great moment for me. And the last and most recent one, where Horatiu had a big impact on my life in Toastmasters, was in January of this year. So for those of you who don't know, and probably most of you wouldn't because you wouldn't have known this, for the 2 years that I've been very active in Toastmasters, besides this one, so for the past 2 years, 3, sorry, what am I talking about? This is like 2018, 19, 2020, 3 years, yes. I wanted to deliver speeches. That was my main reason why I joined Toastmasters. Prepared speeches, yes, because I am okay with improvised speeches. I like doing that, and that's what I did mostly in Toastmasters, besides technical roles. But what did I do less of? You guessed it, prepared speeches, of course, yay. And Horatiu tried to encourage me to do them, but I didn't listen to him. It was one of the areas where I was too stubborn. Until this year, sometime in January, when Horatiu asked me about my goals and what I plan to do in this year for Toastmasters, I was like, you know what, you're right. I should have some goals for this year. And I then went back to my original reason why I joined Toastmasters, the prepared speeches. And I told him, look, because of you, I'm going to book a prepared speech. And that's what I did. Razvan can confirm this. And that was my last speech on the first level of this path. And since then until now, including this, I've done 4 speeches in 3 months, whereas before I've done 2 speeches in 3 years. So there's a progress there as well. So that's all mostly because of Horatiu's encouragement and feedback throughout all the discussions that we've had. So in closing, I want to thank Horatiu very much for all his help and his assistance and his sincerity, encouragement, guidance, and feedback that he gave me throughout these years. And I wish everyone a mentor as good as Horatiu is to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you and congratulations on your progress and on the improvement that you're showing, Christian, for taking more speeches, which are, again, part of your goal. I'd like to tell everyone that Christy would like to simplify his decision-making process. He feels he often takes more time than his peers to settle on a course of action. That being said, the sli.to form is still waiting for you in chat. It's still there, so please head over and try to give him some feedback for his speech. Again, we'll be back in a minute. And this minute is up. So welcome back to return to our little land. Well, before we return to our little land of esoteric philosophy and beverages and art and coffee and flowers, I'd like everyone to extend another round of congratulations to our speakers today, not only for their performances, but also because both of them are actually completing a level today. They're at the end of a small segment in their path, and they're both checking off a milestone. So please let's give them a huge round of applause before moving forward and heading back to our little theme. Because where our little theme takes us is unknown and unknowable. It is in that space of the little tea room where we will start to build our own speeches and when we will start to improvise improvise and work with ideas and try to construct something interesting and new. And in order to guide us through that experience, I would like to welcome to the stage our table topics master, Horatiu Stănculescu, who said, Horatiu, You know what? I'll get you the answer in a few minutes. Please welcome him and let's enjoy a little bit of improvised speeches for the next 20 minutes. Horatio, you have the stage.
Camera, action, and lights. And now, it's great to be back here. I missed speaking in English and this club that I originated in. So, welcome to the second part of the evening. I, as a table topics master, have devised 7 table topics. The maximum duration of a table topic is about 2 minutes. And please keep an eye out for our timer that will show the green card at 1 minute. When 1 minute and 30 seconds have passed the yellow card or the yellow light, and when the 2 minutes are up, you will see the red light. Speaking of this evening, we have a word of the evening that is adorn. So try to use it mostly in your table topic. Well, the table topics is great when you want to feel in love with the stage, if it calls to you, the virtual stage if you want. So remember, I'll let you in on a secret. The table topics is about your opinion of the table topic. So it's not really about what is the subject about, if you are really thinking. So go with the flow, enjoy, relax, and let's get it on with the table topics. Who wants to enter first as a table topic speaker? I see Tudor Kirila. Please unmute your mic, Tudor. And
hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, very nice. Just preparing the table topics.
I like the hand movement that you do. Ah, good.
Okay, thank you. I like your tone of voice, but it's not about this. It's about the what kind of topic do you want? Please tell me a number between 1 and 7.
I always like the round numbers. I don't know why exactly, but I do like them. So I'll pick 5.
5. I'll read it twice, and then you have 20 seconds to think about it, and then let it rip with the table topic. We have a quote here. What's your opinion, Tudor, about this quote? Writing is a job, a talent, but it's also the place to go in your head when it's the imaginary friend you drink your tea with the afternoon. I'll repeat it.
Talking about tea.
Writing is a job, a talent, but it's also the place to go in your head. It is the imaginary friend you drink your tea with in the afternoon. You have 20 seconds and then 2 minutes to let it rip.
All right. Just say it one more time so I can type it.
So, writing is a job, a talent, but it's also the place to go in your head. It is the imaginary friend you drink your tea with in the afternoon.
All right, got it. Okay. Ready? All right. 3, 2, 1, let's roll. A lot of people do write. Some of them write for a living. Those people are called copywriters or content writers, or as I like to call them, simple writers. It's also a talent. I don't believe so. Writing is not a talent. We're not born with. It's something that we learn, something that we develop. And more importantly than that, it's something that we use to persuade. How many times in your life, by a raise of hands, you've got something with a text? Anything that can be a date, can be a car, anything. How many of you? All right. So as I said earlier, you're not born with it. You learn it, then you develop it, to make it persuasive. Now, I also want to touch on a quick, small subject that is the place to talk in your head. It's your best friend. Writing, surprisingly, does something very, very weird to our brain. It rewires it. And more importantly than that, it allows us to go deeper. It doesn't allow us only to talk to ourselves like we do in the mirror, but to actually review what's going on inside of those two ears. I want to share a personal exercise with you, a journal that I keep. I like to write, not for the others, but for myself, to understand myself. I'm the only person that's going to be with me until the end of whatever days I've got left. So might as well be my very best friend. And I write to him once in a while, along with 1, 2, 3 bottles of tea every single day. Thank you.
Big round of applause for Tudor the writer. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now let's see who wants to join in, who wants to be the next table topics speaker, who feels like it. Oh, Cristian Sandru. What a surprise. Okay, Cristi, please tell me a number between 1 and 7 minus 5.
1.
1.
I thought first you were asking me a math question. 1 and 7 minus 5. I was like, wait, no.
You fell into my trap.
Yes.
Okay, but let's go to the International Space Station because you are an astronaut. How and in what circumstances do you drink your tea, Mr. Astronaut Cristi? You are an astronaut in the International Space Station. How and what circumstances do you drink your tea? What is the process, if you want? So you have 20 seconds and 2 minutes to let it flow.
Yes, I in fact do let it flow. Thank you very much. Throughout all the kitchen area, it's a wonderful experience, I have to tell you. We call it
at the
tea
very
day.
top is a lot less competition.
Correct. That is also correct. At the very top, there is a lot less competition. Me and my fellow astronaut colleagues are generally placed between first and second place. We just make fun of the other ones that try but don't manage because we are bad like that. But since you've been in space for so long, you tend to develop a certain different attitude towards things. The atmosphere is also a bit different, I have to say, both literally and figuratively. But going back to tea now, you know, we generally try to let it flow and then catch it back as soon as we can. It's a long process, much longer than we would like it to be, but it is quite fun, and it's also so rewarding when we are able to drink upside down and also keep our pinky finger raised like this, well, technically downward like this, if you will, and use our teacups to catch the tea and then try to drink it like this. It's an amazing experience, I have to say. You definitely should try it. If Elon Musk manages to send people in space, I would definitely recommend a trip to the International Space Station for tea sipping contest. It is amazing. You would not believe it. However, I would highly recommend to stay away from black or green tea if they affect your transit, because it is not a pleasant experience to go through that in space. I've known that from personal experience. It is definitely something to be avoided. So just be sure to read the small print if that will ever happen. So yes, that is how life is on the International Space Station while drinking tea. Thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you here anytime soon. Yay!
Okay, so that was Cristi Sandru, our tea drinking specialist from outer space. Now, let's see who wants to join in, who hasn't talked in a long time. Let me see Adrian Sălășan. Yes, this is the next speaker. Hello, Adi.
Hello, Horatio.
Please tell us a number between 2 and 7 minus 5, of course.
Minus 5, yeah. 3.
3. 3 is not about tea, but it's a good beverage. So we have quote. Comment on the following. If you can, choose alcohol, because no great story begins with drinking milk. If you can, choose alcohol, because no great story begins with drinking milk. You have the 20 seconds, and then you can join in. Good luck.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, if you can, drink alcohol, because no great story begins with drinking milk. Or so I thought at first. Once I grew up, you know, and I started growing up in the psychological sense rather than the age sense, I realized that every story, be it a great story or a not so great story, actually begins with milk. Think about it. We are all kids at some point. Thank you, Razvan. We are all kids at some point, and regardless if we lead an extraordinary life or a perfectly ordinary one, we start with drinking milk. And my thinking is, okay, I may not be George Washington, I may not be Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor, and Terminator all at the same time. But I do have some stories. Some of them are crap stories. Some of them are great stories. And they all began with milk for me. And yeah, I can't remember exactly for how long milk lasted. I do know that maybe about 1 year. I like still milk. I do prefer wine now. But yeah, for me, all great stories and all not so great stories do begin with milk.
Okay, thank you, Adi. We had plenty of inspiration with the milk, yes. Okay, so we go back to tea now, but let's see who wants to join in. I see Vlad Pruneanu. Okay, please unmute yourself and tell us a number between 2, 4, 6, and 7.
7. 7 it is.
7.
Yes.
Okay, we have a long quote here.
Oh.
And you can adapt, of course. What is your opinion on the following? If you are cold, tea will warm you. If you are too heated, it will cool you. If you are depressed, it will cheer you up. If you are excited, it will calm you down. Do you want me to repeat it?
For sure, please.
Okay. If you are cold, tea will warm you. If you are too heated, tea will cool you. If you are depressed, it will cheer you. If you are excited, it will calm you. So you have 20 seconds to think about it and then join in with the table topic.
Well, the last time I drank tea was 2 days ago. I got a shot of AstraZeneca in the morning, and in the evening, I got fever. Well, the kind of fever that got me high. I was high as a kite because of that fever. What did I do? I started drinking tea. At first, I drank tea because I was shivering. I was freezing. I was having a blanket over me. I started the central heating in the house, in the apartment, but still I was shivering and I drank some tea. An hour later, I got so warm that I started sweating. So I drank some more tea because I needed to be hydrated, but this time the tea was rather cold. Later on, around midnight, I started a little bit hallucinating. Well, guess what? I drank some more tea because again I was dehydrating and the tea had the taste of some god's nectar. Well, as the hour passed by and the fever started to lower, to drop down, again I got dehydrated. The hallucinations started to move on, to disappear. And again I drank tea just because I had more than I needed and didn't want to throw it down the sink. So this is my story with tea, and I can assure you it's a multifunctional beverage. Yes, thanks.
Thank you, Vlad. And now we have time for two more. Let's see, who will be the next speaker? I have one that is a challenge, more of a challenge, and one easier one, easier table topic. Who wants a challenge? Okay, I see Farkas Răzvan with a challenge. Okay, Răzvan, if you want the challenge.
Sure thing. I just want to ask, because I saw Adelina with her hand raised, if she wants the challenge or the simple one.
Okay, Adelina, so tell
what
us.
do you want? So I go with the other thing.
I'll take the challenge, of course.
Okay, so
then I'll get the simpler one. I'm not even sad.
Who wants to go first?
Me, of course.
Okay. So this will be an inspiration for you as a man, of course.
Let me just...
Please adjust. Yeah, of course. We have a quote. It's about a woman. So what is your opinion about this quote? Surely a pretty woman never looks prettier than when making tea. Surely a pretty woman never looks prettier than when making tea. Răzvan Farkas with the 20 seconds and two minutes to let it rip.
Are you sure this is the simple one?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just checking. Honestly, I can only imagine how a lady looks when she's making tea, because my ex-girlfriend never made me tea. Now, I imagine a pretty girl sitting at the kitchen counter, just pouring sugar. She's with her fine dress. I don't think I'm allowed to say this, but she's in her panties because we're at home and everything is nice. And how nice is tea with S? Like, let's be honest. It's really nice. And she just poured the tea, maybe a bit more romantical, like na 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 na. Răzvan, your tea is ready, darling. And I wake up, because that didn't ever happen to me, and I hope it will, honestly. Thank you.
Okay, congrats, Răzvan. Very vivid imagination. So yes, it can become true. Try the NLP stuff. Okay, now let's go to the challenge of the evening, Adina Platon.
Now I'm scared.
Well, let's see.
Do we still have time?
Yes, we have time. Plenty of time. So you are at a tea tasting ceremony. A friend of yours recommends you drink an experimental batch of vanilla, cinnamon, scorțișoară, and red watermelon tea, pepene verde sau roșu. How do you feel while drinking it? So, you are at a tea tasting ceremony. A friend of yours recommends you drink an experimental batch of vanilla, cinnamon, and red watermelon tea. How do you feel while drinking it? We have 20 seconds, of course. Can be 30 if you want.
Cinnamon, vanilla. But what's this fruity flavor? Oh, red melon. That's an interesting approach. I mean, I really like these intense flavors like cinnamon or vanilla, but something, I don't know, so fresh and juicy combined with vanilla and cinnamon. If you would have told me before tasting it, I would definitely said no. Why? Because melon, it's melon. I mean, watermelon. It has its own taste and it's irreplaceable. Why, I don't know, hide it behind vanilla or cinnamon? But I really like how you feel it. Like it's sparkling in your mouth, and yeah, it's an interesting choice. So I would definitely recommend it to try here.
Thank you, Adelina, for accepting the challenge. Nice, that went smoothly. Okay, by the way, I never heard of watermelon tea. Maybe it exists. We must ask our host, Kata, if it exists, watermelon tea. If not, maybe we will make some. Okay, so I have just been informed that it exists. Nice. Okay, so we have 1 minute left, and please vote your favorite, pick your favorite speech of the table topics in Slido. That will be here in the comment section. And we have to choose from Tudor the writer, Christy the tea drinking astronaut, Adrian the milkman, Vlad with the long tea quote, Răzvan with the pretty woman, and Adelina with the watermelon tea. So please, Mr. Zoom Master VP Education, send us the link that we can vote on. And I will leave you with the host and 1 minute to vote. So thank you for the opportunity. And I wish you a good evening and see you later. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Horatio. And as we wait for the voting space to show up, we are there. There we go. There's the link should be there. As we wait for the voting to happen, we will take a few seconds for you to go and click your favorite person before we move to the next section. Now, we've had fun. We talked philosophy, we had good prepared speeches, and we had fun talking about tea, space, and weird mixes and combinations to figure out how well we've done and how to improve our performances for the next time. I'd like to invite to the stage the general evaluator to conduct the last section. So please welcome again Adelina Platon.
Thank you, Cătălin. Hello again. We are heading now to the speech evaluator section, and we will start with Vlad Prunanu's speech. And I will invite Julia Moldovan on the stage to present her feedback. Julia?
Thank you, Adelina. At the very top is a lot less competition. Thank you, Vlad, for this very strong final message of your speech. Tonight, I noticed 2 aspects of your speech that make it a top speech, and 1 aspect that can be improved, in my opinion, in your future speeches. So, first of all, I appreciated the chosen topic. How many of you have heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger? Exactly. Your topic, Vlad, is no to others, but not know enough to lose their interests. Second of all, I loved the way you organized your speech, clearly and chronological, to maximize audience understanding. We found out how a simple country boy became a bodybuilding winner, a well-known actor, and even a governor. You also named titles won, films, and one documentary. Third of all, I recommend you to use site sources to support speech contest and make this source visible for us. You can give magazines names, credible websites, or even names of reports. This thing gives us credibility to the information provided by you. So we know that it's not something you read, it's something that somebody researched. You can use the presentation to make the source list available for us. That being said, I congratulate you for the speech delivered today, and I hope to hear you say, I will be back with the next speech, of course.
Thank you, Julia, for your feedback. And now we're heading to the second speech evaluator's report. Ioana Neksha, she will evaluate Cristian Chandru's speech. Ioana?
Thank you. Christy, dear audience, I have 3 smaller topics and one larger suggestion, if I'm allowed. First of all, I'd like to say that, Christy, you are a master of powerful beginnings. I remember from your previous speeches that you do this, and today was no exception. How great is it to have the mentor I have? Was your intro phrase, and I found it incredibly appropriate. Second, I found it really appropriate for you using numbers. You said I have 3 topics I would like to tell you about, and that gives audience predictability and something to look forward to. I find that really good. The third remark is that you usually have a very jolly tone when speaking. You use short sentences and increase tonality. Just make sure that throughout your speech, you can maintain the same level of energy from beginning to the end of it. A suggestion I have, and this applies for not just you, but all speakers here, and that is, don't say sorry when you make a mistake. If you mentioned 2017 and it's 2018, nobody knows. If you say sorry, you draw attention towards the mistake you made. So forget about it, nobody will know. The last remark, and I would like to give it to you as, if I'm allowed, an advice. In my book, you have accomplished the objective you set out for the day, and that was to relate an experience when you were a mentor and tell the audience how that was for you. In my book, however, one of the goals we want to accomplish in Toastmasters is to deliver impactful, relatable, memorable speeches, and that we accomplish when we talk about how the relationship with our mentor made us feel, or share a secret. When you said we talked for 2 hours, tell us something you've shared in those 2 hours. Tell us a secret, tell us an insight, some spicy insight if you'd like, because that will make your speech memorable. If you just come and tell us, in that situation he was good, in that situation he was good, in that situation he was good, we will remember that Horatio was a great mentor, but what other than that will we remain with after your speech? Thank you. You did a great job today, so keep it up, and looking forward to seeing your next speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Ioana. And now that the evaluation for the speakers session is over, we are heading to the technical evaluation section, and we will start with the grammarian report. I will now invite Răzvan on the stage to present us his report. Răzvan?
Thank you, Adelina. I know the grammarian is always first, and yet I always get surprised when you call me first on the stage. Cătălin Bălan, as our president, I loved, it was a really long expression and it stole my mind. My mind just went with it. It was something along the lines that tea was, had the arrogance of wine and elegance of coffee and a bunch of other fancy things that you adorned tea with. At some point, you said the host is myself. I think here, maybe the better option would be the host is me. And you said a counter. I know this is a bit far-fetched, but I didn't find anything. So maybe next time say a counter. Let's go to English. Cătălin Bălan, as a Toastmaster. I really love the expression, their houses are ephemeral. And at some point, I didn't really understand, have carded their projects. This is an expression I didn't get, maybe because it was interrupted or something. I don't know what you tried to say here. Adelina Platon, as a general evaluator. You said at some point to give you Cătălin's answer. I suggest you use to tell you Cătălin's answer because you are not handing any paper sheets or anything. You are telling us his answer. And at some point you said a feedback. Now here, feedback is just feedback. It can't be a feedback. Eventually, it can be a piece of feedback. Marian Pânzariu, I found only one mistake. You said repeated word. I'd suggest you replace this with word repetition. Sounds much better and it's correct. Sergiu Cristea, as a timer, I didn't find anything. Our first speaker, Vlad Proneanu. Schmooze. I had to Google schmooze. This is really great. I will send you on chat what schmooze means. It means talk with someone in a lively and friendly way, typically in order to impress or manipulate them. I hope you did it to impress us. At some point, he said he was talking to common people, and I think there you should have used to the common people. I will write an explanation in chat how this works in Romanian and in English. And you said the general misconception that common people were. I think here you should have used was because you articulate the were, the verb with the general misconception, not with the common people. And what did Arnold did? What did Arnold do? That's it. Cristi, boon, boon. I had to Google this word too. Thank you. Boon means a thing that is helpful or beneficial. I will paste that in chat a bit later. And I only have one remark. I think this is more of a preferential remark. He gave me encouragement. I think the right way to say this is he encouraged me. But because, as I said in Iulia's case, he didn't really give you encouragement on a piece of paper. and roll with it as I normally did. Here, I suggest you say roll with it as I normally do. That being said, Adelina, I have one more remark, which I found on the back of the paper. Speech evaluator team. I'd suggest speech evaluators team. Julia Moldovan, you said it lasts 7 minutes. I suggest you say it lasts 7 minutes. This being said, honestly, I'm kind of sad, but not sad in a bad way, in a good way, that you guys didn't have any grammar mistakes. I really enjoyed you this evening, and I think it was wonderful. Keep up the good work and the good English. I can't believe I'm going to finish on time. That's nice, Red. Thank you.
Congratulations, Răzvan, and thank you for your report. The next technical evaluator who will present his report is our A counter, and I will invite on the stage Marian Pânzariu. Marian?
Thank you, Adelina. My report, it will be very fast. I think so. So I will start with Cătălin in role of president and also Toastmasters. You had 14 ums and 3 repetition words like and especially, and 1 poses, inappropriate poses. Okay, it's freezing on my side. Do you see me? Okay. General evaluator, Adelina Platon, 10 O's and 2 repeated words, and Răzvan Farkas, 3 ums. The timer, Sergiu, you had 3 ums. The first speaker, Vlad, you had 3 ums and 3 inappropriate poses, and you repeated 3 times and. Julia, as an evaluator, you had 4 ums. Cristi, as a second speaker, you had 10 ums and repetitive word and, especially. Ioana, as an evaluator for Cristi, you had 17 ums. Horatiu Stănculescu, as a Toastmasters, you had 1 ums and 2 poses. And for inappropriate speeches, for improvisation speech, the first was Tudor, you had 2 ums. The second one, Cristi, you had 40 ums. Adelina, Adrian, 5 ums. Vlad, 1 ums. Răzvan, 1 ums. And Adelina, 3 ums. And also we had a top 3, and on the 3rd place it is Cristian with 12 ums. Cătălin with 30 ums, and Ioana with 17 ums. Thank you, and Adelina.
Thank you, Marian, for your report. Congratulations. And now I will invite the final technical evaluator, the timer. Cristi, Sergio, please come on the stage and present us your report.
Hi again. First of all, I want to congratulate those who managed to stick to their time. Vlad Pruneanu, Răzvan Farkas, Adelina Platon, Julia Moldovan, Răzvan Farkas, din nou. Now, speak your, you had the first speaker, Vlad Puneanu, you had 70 minutes, and of your 8 minutes and 12. Cristian Sandru, you had 70 minutes, you had 70 minutes and 48. 7 minutes and 48. Table topics, Tudor Kirila, you had 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Cristian Sandru, you had 2 minutes out of your 2 minutes 15. Adrian Tălășan, you had 2 minutes and 1 minute 34. Vlad Puneanu, 2 minutes, you had 2 minutes out of your 1 minute 52. Răzvan Farkas, you had 1 minute, you had 2 minutes the same, and 1 minute and 8 seconds. Adelina Platon, you had 1 minute, and out your time is 1 minute and 10 seconds. The first evaluator, Iulia Moldovan, you had 3 minutes and 2 minutes 24. Ioana Nexha, 3 minutes, you had 3 minutes and of 3 minutes 20. A Cantor, Marian Punzariu, 2 minutes you had, and 2 minutes 30. Răzvan Farkas, grammarian, 5 minutes. This was my report. Thank you for your time and have a good night.
Thank you, Sergio, and congratulations for your feedback. And now the time has come for my report. And to adorn my report, I will also like to include the word of the evening. So keep that in mind, Răzvan. I will start with the president. I wrote down the idea that you started, you got with the flow and you started in Romanian, but because we have a team here, congratulations, Horatiu, for catching things up and remind our president that's an English meeting. A general remark regarding our online sessions, I would recommend you when a person is on the stage and is speaking, please make sure you have your microphones off, so wouldn't disturb him or her during the speech. And also to avoid awkward moments, put the phones on the silence or on silent, or make sure you leave them in another room where they cannot disturb you. Our Toastmaster, Cătălin, again, congratulations for choosing the theme. You had a catchy introduction, and you also involved the public in your presentation. I like the structure and how you braided the theme with the meeting structure. I encourage you to engage the colleagues who can help you during the meeting. And I'm referring to a certain situation when we have that 1 minute for feedback and evaluation to engage the timer to help you. Our technical evaluators, grammarian, Răzvan, I like how you presented the role and also the word of the evening, adorn. I got surprised also of your reaction when I called you on the stage and you were like, and I was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to call you. Thank you for the feedback. For me and for the other speakers also. I like the idea that you presented what you felt wrong and you came back with the correct form. And I also appreciated that you Googled words like Bund or schmoozing and also shared the explanation with the public. And I also noted here, it's impressive how you hear the S at the end of, or when they're missing at the end of the words, because it's an online session and for me sometimes it's difficult to catch them up. Our A counter, Marianne, I liked it. I liked the way you presented your role. As a general remark, when you start to present a report, avoid introductions like I will try to be as fast as I can, or something like I will try to be more precise. Just start with your ideas and you're going to be very much structured and you're going to save time. You said one pauses, sorry. The correct form is one pause and the plural it's two pauses. And congratulations for the top you made for the person who who had the more fluent speech. I will also encourage you to write it in the chat so we have it available during the meeting and to save time during your speech report. Sergio, our timer, I would suggest you to practice presenting the role before the meeting so you get familiar with the green, yellow, and red lights. And I will, as a feedback, encourage speakers to pin your video to be easier to follow your colorful signals. And as a general remark to our technical evaluators, please talk about your benefits you got from your roles. Is very important, especially for those who are the first time here, understand what brings to you having this role for tonight. Our speech evaluator, Julia, I like that you started with the quote from Vlad's speech. I liked your structure. You presented the body and then you built your feedback on this structure. And I think this brings clarity for the public to follow the idea and also helps the speaker to better understand your feedback. I would like to summarize your idea to have a conclusion, not just to end your feedback so roughly. Joanna, I like the way you introduced Christie's objectives for his speech and project. I also like that you start with an impact idea. Christie is the master of powerful beginnings, and that's what I had kept in my mind during the whole feedback you gave to him. You brought suggestions and examples for your feedback, and I think Horatio, our table topics masters, I like the way you presented the rules of the game, and also that you reminded the word of the evening and encouraged speakers to use it. I like the fact that you read the topics twice. As a recommendation, I would suggest you to shorten some of the topics so you would save time, or to make it easier for the speaker to understand the idea of the topic. That being said, this was my report. I will give back the word to our host, Cătălin.
Congratulations, everyone, and thank you very much, Adelina. Now, as we move forward, before we advance, there is one more little thing which we would need to know, which we would need to find out. So please make a little bit of noise to try to bring up the tension, to try to give us a little bit of extra breathing space to figure out who won table topics today. And to that extent, I would really like to invite to the stage. I'd really like to bring him over here with you. However, he's no longer in the room. Even though Adrian Seneșan won the table topics today, he got the most votes. He's sadly not here right now. Had to drop out for a second, unless he's actually joining. Did he just say that he's joining back? Okay, he might show up. If he shows up, we'll bring him back here to the stage for a couple of questions regarding his speech. However, regarding our little theme and regarding our little practice today, oh, look, Adrian is back. All the tension there, all the stress, all the tension, and he showed up again. Woohoo! Hello, welcome, Adi. Welcome to the stage.
I'm in my office, not on the stage.
Oh, you're at the office.
What's going on?
Okay, so Adi, as you've won the table topics today, I had one question for you. What do you think in your speech made you get the first place today? Putting you on the spotlight.
I guess the question is to be addressed to people who voted. I have no clue. I maybe repeating the question at the start of the speech was somehow winning me favors from people voting. Maybe it's the fact that I had the bigger Toastmasters logo in the right corner. Maybe it's the fact that I have a nice microphone. Somebody mentioned that to me in private. So maybe I was audible in a way that others weren't. I don't know. I would love to know, because then I would repeat this recipe every time and win every time, right?
So those of you who voted, we will never find out who you are. If you want to leave your feedback and give Adi a word of advice, or a little tip of why he won, or if you want to let us know in chat, here you go. Here's your chance. And thank you very much, Adi, for your wonderful speech. I think it was brilliant, and I absolutely loved it.
Thanks.
Now, we're approaching the end of our meeting, and since we talked a lot about paying attention and about the simple things in life, I just want to summarize the philosophy about tea and the art of tea and teaism itself. And if I were to do that, I would do it as a devotee of the art who wrote that it was the greatest pleasure he knew was to do a good action by stealth and to have it found out by accident. Teaism is the art of concealing beauty that you may discover it. And even though here we're supposed to show what we know and supposed to talk to a large audience, every once in a while leave a little thing there in your backpack that they have to discover. They have to come over here and come back for more. That being said, I think that is all for this meeting, and I would like to swap back to Romanian as we move to the administrative section and to our little event that happens soon after. Doamnelor, dragilor, felicitări!
Bine ai venit la finalul clipului și îți mulțumim că ai stat alături de noi și te încurajăm să te abonezi la canalul nostru de YouTube și să ne dai un like la pagina noastră de Facebook. Ne vedem data viitoare!